I'm very glad to have Mr. Mkrtchyan with me once again, the ambassador of Armenia in Greece. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for being here with us.
Thank you very much for receiving me.
Mr. Ambassador, a month ago, approximately a month ago, a group from Azerbaijan blocked the Lakhin corridor, the only effective road that connects Nagorno-Karabakh with Armenia and by extension with the whole world. These activists were later joined by Azerbaijani soldiers. What are the latest developments and what is the current situation?
You're right. It's been already 36 days, actually, that the Lachin corridor, Lachin road, has been blocked by these people who label themselves as eco-activists, but actually nobody, including themselves, believe that they are eco-activists. 120,000 Armenians are being held hostage under this siege, basically, which is growing into a humanitarian catastrophe, actually, because every day from Armenia to Nagorno-Karabakh, about 400 tons of food and basic, basic stuff was being transported, which has been cut right now. And only and exclusively the vans and cars of the Russian peacekeepers or the International Red Cross's cars can pass, which of course these activists, so-called activists, are videotaping and saying that as if the road is not blocked. But the road is blocked and there is a blockage, and everybody, the international community, recognized it as such. And there are, of course, there have been, vocal voices about this situation. The Western countries, most of the Western countries, of course, reacted, and there was also a discussion of the situation in the UN Security Council. But until now, it has been to no avail, actually, unfortunately. Azerbaijan has been ignoring all of those calls, and 2 days ago, the president of Azerbaijan said that these activities will continue. Basically, also implicitly accepting that all of this show is organized by the government of Azerbaijan. Simply, the tragedy and the paradox of the situation is such that under the name of eco-activism, which is in itself a positive thing, a siege is organized, the aim of which is ethnic cleansing. So under the name of something good, a horrific act is being committed right now, which may lead to complete ethnic cleansing of Nagorno-Karabakh, or Artsakh, as we say, which is, of course, unacceptable. Mm-hmm. And today, you asked me about the latest developments. I would like to say that yesterday, the European Court of Human Rights sent an urgent notice to the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe to monitor Azerbaijan's implementation of the court's decision from interim measure from December on the Lachin corridor, which is very important, of course. And today, just a few hours ago, our foreign minister was in the OSCE, where he had an address, and one of the important points was that it's time to act right now, because it's really the situation is getting grave on a daily basis, and this cannot be accepted. Of course, we cannot stand by and let the people starve to death. This is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say that this is the worst point that the Armenian-Azerbaijani relations have ever been?
Well, the worst points have been the worst that we have had, unfortunately, because of a similar stance of Azerbaijan in the past as well. But this is leading to another low in the relations, of course. And this is, as the United States reaction actually was recent reaction of the State Department, was that this is pushing back the peace process in a severe way. This is a huge blow to the negotiations and to having a constructive talk. Although I should say that on other accounts, on other frontiers of negotiations, there haven't been any progress. And actually, recently, just a few months ago, Azerbaijan attacked in September Armenia proper and occupied the 150 hectares of the southern territory of Armenia, which is another, of course, huge problem in our relations.
Mm-hmm. What needs to be done now for Armenia and Azerbaijan to establish better relations? I mean, in a realistic base.
We need to, what is needed is, of course, apart from in addition to the reactions that we have been having from various governments, including the Hellenic government, which made a call to unconditional, opening of the road, and other governments in the world and organizations have been making such calls. In addition to these calls, we need to understand, what are the next steps. So Armenia has appealed that, it would be very much necessary to have a UN or international monitoring mission to Lachin and to Karabakh to have an assessment of the situation there. Azerbaijan has been so far sort of resisting these kind of activities and international involvement in this issue. But we believe that this resistance needs to be the international community needs to, members of the community need to explain to Azerbaijan that this behavior will not be tolerated. I mean, Azerbaijan should not be awarded for such type of behavior, but certain mechanisms of punishment should be imposed, because we have seen during the war, after the war, during the 2020 war, and this recent escalation into September 2022, there have been several war crimes committed, and nobody has been held accountable. And the lack of appropriate reaction to these kinds of acts has led to the current situation, which is which may develop into something catastrophic unless Azerbaijan understands that it will be held accountable, that punishment is applied in such cases, that sanctions may be applied in such cases. So Armenia has asked for more international engagement, for sending missions from the EU to southern Armenia, the OSCE mission to southern Armenia, and to international monitoring mission to Karabakh, to Lachin, as well as the UNESCO mission to Karabakh and the surrounding areas. But so far, on these latter two accounts, on the international monitoring mission and UNESCO mission, we haven't been successful since we have faced the resistance of Azerbaijan, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for this discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you.